Welcome back to 4K Kings. I am Matt.
I am Russ.
And we are live.
We are.
We're live, large and in charge.
Sure. How's everyone doing out there?
Russ, you're already shutting me down. We just started. Let me flap my wings a little.
Got places to be, man.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to 4K Kings. As this gentleman to my right already said, he is Russ and I am Matt, and we are here to discuss movies, physical media, and more.
That's right. And if you are not subscribed yet, how are you here? Because don't they have to be subscribed to join this
To
live
comment.
stream?
Just a comment.
Well, come on, comment.
If you want to comment,
subscribe.
There it is. There it is. And we got Lindsay, the producer, in the booth. Lindsay, how are you doing? How's everyone doing out there?
Hello, everybody. We've got some people joining us. Oscar, Magic Hands. Oscar wants to know if you guys were busy doing hair and makeup right before this.
A little.
Doing heroin and what?
Yeah, a little touch up. I'm getting up there in age. Sometimes I need to fill in the cracks.
The cracks. Nah, this is all natural. I came out of the womb like this, Matt.
You're looking good, Russ. You're looking great.
Sunglasses and all.
You're looking great. And it's another special Tuesday night stream.
Special one, that's right.
A special Tuesday. Normally we're streaming on Wednesdays, but we have a special episode on a Tuesday.
Special occasion. There was a death in the family.
I thought it was an anniversary.
That too. That's right. That's right. We had to reschedule due to my wife and my anniversary. And someone died. But anyway.
So welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm uncomfortable. I wanted to talk about physical media, and now I am uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is crazy. 7. Huh?
I'm sorry to hear about the anniversary. I mean, the passing of your.
Sorry to hear about the anniversary as well. My wife's gonna be so angry.
Is she watching this right now?
I'm sure she is, shaking her head in disappointment.
Hi. I don't want to say her name unless you wanted to keep that, silent. Charlotte. We'll just call you Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte. How's it going? Nice to see you out there.
How many people have left?
It's a rocky start. It's a rocky start. Let's talk about what we're going to be talking about tonight. Let's talk about the lineup. Here's the lineup. You ready?
Yeah, let's get back on course, man.
Let's get back on track.
We're not good with this whole friend thing. Let's stick to the script.
Do you like SteelBooks, Russ?
I love them.
You like SteelBooks, do you? Well, we're going to be talking about SteelBooks, including Taxi Driver in 4K, finally getting its own standalone. Our favorite film Vault series getting SteelBook releases as well. We're going to be talking about Criterion in 4K. We're going to be talking about Risky Business.
I'm cold to some of this news, dude. I don't know the Film Vault announcements.
Okay.
I am aware of Risky Business and Taxi Driver.
All right, let's get some thumbs up in the chat if you're aware of everything that we're talking about here. Russ is in the dark.
Yeah, unaware.
Caught unawares.
That's how I like being.
We got Paramount 4K to talk about and a slate of KINO 4K to talk about. And what I like about the KINO slate is it's like a 90s, like complete 90s slate, like 90s action thrillers and one comedy.
Sweet. Did we get Saved by the Bell, the college years on Blu-ray?
Not yet. I'm holding out for that.
Dang. That was depressing, wasn't it?
What? The college years?
Yeah.
Of Saved by the Bell?
Yeah.
I hung on for a little while.
Did you?
No, a little while, yeah.
I'm just making conversation. I never watched. Did they all return? I know I've seen clips. I know Zach and Kelly were in it.
They tried to act like Kelly wasn't going to be in it in like the first episode or two, and I remember being like, you better bring Kelly back or I'm turning this off. And then they brought her back, obviously. They brought her back. She wasn't going to do it, I don't think. I could be totally wrong. I could be spreading misinformation.
She was on 90210 probably around that time, if I recall correctly.
She was on her way there. She
was driving to Beverly Hills.
She was driving to Beverly Hills, right out of Bayside, straight to Beverly Hills.
She got in one little fight and her mom got scared. So yeah, TV Kings, make sure you're subscribed.
Lindsay, who do we got in the chat tonight? Where is everyone from? Any far off locations? Just a lot of East Coast
Beverly Hills
slobs like us.
So far, I think the only person that dropped their location said they're in Arizona.
But
where's everybody else at? Let us know.
Arizona. Yeah, say hi to one another. This is a community. Russ, I know again we talked about your personal news. Sorry to hear about that. Any anything else new with you? Any new pickups? Any new things that you've seen, watched, enjoyed?
I took advantage of the KINO LORBER sale, Matt.
Got a couple titles for $8.
Yeah. I picked up one 4K around 18. It was 50% off.
Okay.
And then I blind bought a few titles, and I picked up, since the price dropped to just $7.99. What was it, $8.99?
Yeah,
$7.99?
something like that.
I picked up some questionable titles. Some questionable titles, man.
How questionable?
How questionable?
How questionable
How
are we talking?
questionable are we talking?
Yeah, how questionable are we talking?
What are your thoughts on Jetson's the movie?
Is it live action?
No, it's animated.
Okay, then my thoughts
It's the
are
animated 1990 classic Jetson's the movie.
I never liked the Jetsons, the cartoon. I didn't like that era of like what is it, like Hanna-Barbera?
Yes.
Like Flintstones and stuff. I was lukewarm.
Like it.
Not really.
Nah, all right. I would have never picked this up in a million years
Yeah.
at regular price. Hell, even at $8.99, I was questioning myself. But this raises a question. I realized something. Have you ever had this experience as a film lover when you were young, when you were on the verge of adolescence? You were still a kid, let's say like 11 years old, right?
Okay.
Where you're not quite ready to give up kid things yet, but you've already kind of been exposed to teenage ways. You already know. Like, for instance, what I'm saying is, by the time I saw Jetson's the movie at 8 years old, I had already seen like Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
But like this movie, for some reason, was one of those, like, I wanted to like it. Even as a kid, I felt this inner turmoil of wanting to like it more than I did, because I realized it was very kiddie and I wasn't kiddie anymore.
Your youth was
like,
slipping
I
away.
wasn't a girl, or was it not a woman, but not whatever that.
Not yet a
is.
girl.
Yes, it was one of those moments.
Not a woman, but I'm not always
But
a bridesmaid,
there's
but
like
never
this-
a bride.
And so that film's always given me this weird sort of like melancholic nostalgia. It's deep. You got to check it out.
It's like your early youth is slipping away and you're like clawing at it and it's,
I was
it's
a
over.
deep soul even at 8 years old, Matt. But yes, something similar to that. Do you, I mean, honestly, jokes aside, do you have anything like that? I know that's a real deep question.
It is
to catch you off guard.
I would need, I mean, not that specific feeling that's coming to mind.
Something similar to it. I'm not saying it has to be,
Okay.
verbatim what I just said,
No,
but
okay.
along those lines, anything
Yeah.
like that. Like, a movie's trash, but for some reason, maybe you saw it at a certain time,
Mhm.
or, you recognize its faults. You recognize, hey, I'm not going to recommend this to anyone. You're even kind of embarrassed you like it yourself.
And I'm certainly not picking it up on full price.
Yeah.
Pick it up on
There's
that
gonna
sale.
there's going to be no Arrow special collector's edition of Jetson's the movie. You know
No,
what I mean?
just-
So it was
okay.
just like
All right. Okay, Russ, I like that.
Anybody out there, Lindsay in the booth?
That
Does
sounds
anyone
nice.
else out there think I'm psychotic like Matt does?
Any other
I'm sure they do, but this sounds like a good prompt for people to maybe answer, like what nostalgic childhood picks they have that kind of make them.
Yeah, what are some objectively trash movies that
Yeah, spin it that way.
yeah, objectively trash movies or objectively mid movies, let's
Mhm.
say, that for some reason, because you were of a certain age, they hit. But in your heart of hearts that they're,
not great.
they're Godfather 3. You know what I mean? There's something like that.
I'll have to think on that. Maybe something will come to me. I don't know.
No. Food for thought.
But I feel you.
Jetson's the movie.
Jetson's the movie. You really made me think on that, Russ. We'll see what the people at home say. I will say there was a couple of pieces of news that I saw before we get into the actual physical media stuff that I wanted to share in regards to the video that we put out where it was like movies we need in 4K. There was a couple of like random news items that I saw that kind of gave us a little bit of maybe closure or just something on there. I don't know. The first thing was, we mentioned David Fincher on there. We mentioned we wanted to see Fight Club and we wanted to see, Panic Room, basically all the movies that he had put out, and that we were waiting on 7, which had apparently been delayed to like 2025. I think someone had commented about.
Very least.
At the very least. But then all of a sudden there was an article that I read at a couple of different places linked to it about how, the restoration has been screened at the Chinese theater's IMAX screen, and then he did a like Q&A afterwards, and he just basically talked about how he, it's actually a really long article and it's really interesting, like what he talks about in terms of his thought process on restoring the movie and the things that he knew he couldn't absolutely mess around with, things that he felt like he could maybe, tweaked to kind of like bring some new level of detail or vibrancy or whatever. He said it was very painstaking, but he also mentioned that he's working with an 8K like master of the film, which is pretty awesome. So we know that, it's a pretty high quality like starting point. And just some of his comments.
Fire it up on my PS5.
I know. I'm going to buy an 8K player now.
We're obsolete.
Channel's over. And he also mentioned
Not economically viable.
He also mentioned Panic Room. He's working on that currently. So that's
the one we all want the most.
It's not really. I remember seeing that in the theater. I don't know why or who I was with, but God, did I just not like that movie? I don't know why. I hate Jared Leto too.
Matt, we're gonna get a new Kristen Stewart commentary.
I hate Jared Leto. Leto,
dude, even his cornrows.
Even the cornrows. But good news for 7. I just want to make sure that we all were on the same page. Oh, and the other thing too, this article quotes the movie is coming out May 3rd, and I was like,
what, 7?
Yeah. And I'm like,
on
that's
physical media,
yes,
or like a re-release in theaters.
No, this, and which is kind of weird too, because that's like a month away, and we've got nothing other than a notice that says 2025.
I was just about to say, did they say the year, or did they just say May
2026?
3rd? I know, it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
What a weird thing to do to announce that so early, but anyway,
not even to announce it so early, but to take our money so early.
That is true.
I don't mind the announcement, and then it got delayed, but
the pre-order,
you were accepting pre-orders. Like I can't recall another. Unless it's been like a GoFundMe, like a crowdsourced project. I've never seen anything handled with a title like 7 that kind of deliberately.
It's a big
terrible
title to do that with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And then the other thing I saw, which again is very rumor, like I don't think there's nothing that's been completely, said or announced, but there was 3 different sources I saw, 3 different like whether it's links or like forum discussions or something, where there's some credible information that Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles, and Bad Taste are going to be coming out in 4K, and they might even be coming out at the end of this year. And the source of the information is allegedly Wingnut Films, which is Peter Jackson's company, like saying that they are putting this information out. No one, like I said, no studio has said anything. These are people that are like, I know this for sure. I know a person. I got this email blast, or I got this whatever. These are the connections I've got.
I mean, Jackson's confirmed that he's worked on them, right?
Right, since like 2018. So I feel like maybe now, because I've seen this a little bit more crop up all of a sudden, where it's like, yes, we know information. Maybe this is the year.
It's funny. You texted me the other day about this. You didn't say Dead Alive, though.
Yeah.
You just said Meet the Feebles and Bad Taste, which I thought was funny because Dead Alive is probably the crown jewel of all these releases that most people are clamoring for. So when you sent me that text, I assumed like, wow, they're skipping out on Dead Alive.
Which I've never seen any of them. If and when they do come out, are they blind buys? Is there some that are and some that are not? How would you recommend them to me?
Ooh. For you, Peter Jackson is Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes. And I mean, I've seen The Frighteners and I see what he's capable of, but not like all the splatter stuff.
What did I could probably gauge it better on what you thought of The Frighteners than I can Lord of the Rings.
I didn't really care for the movie that much. It was okay. The movie. I mean, what I saw, like how he presented and portrayed the stuff was really cool.
Actually, I have a better way with you personally. I have a better way. I know Evil Dead 2 is what, your favorite movie, top 5?
It's in the top 5, yeah.
You could blind buy Dead Alive then. If you watch Dead Alive and Evil Dead 2 as a double feature, that would be fucking awesome. It's a similar tone of nonstop gore, silliness, and comedy. And whereas, actually, I've never seen Meet the Feebles in its entirety. I only saw. I was wasted.
That looks the most interesting to me, just based on the poster alone.
It did to me too, but let me tell you, I was very intoxicated when I attempted watching it years ago, but I didn't really get into it. Where Bad Taste, I enjoyed, and Dead Alive, I enjoy. I would give Meet the Feebles another chance, because like I said, I wasn't in the proper state of mind at all. But Bad Taste is, I believe, the earliest. It definitely looks the earliest. It's the roughest. It's the cheapest. Dead Alive, you get more like value production. More you're going to see more Frighteners-esque things in that. But Bad Taste is awesome too. It's fun as hell.
Yeah.
But that's more akin to watching, say, your favorite director this is their first, like their, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like their infancy, or like Pi or something. It's like watching that.
Gotcha.
I'd compare that to.
Yeah, I wonder.
Definitely, like I'm picking it up. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
But
I
as
wonder.
a blind buy, I would recommend watching Bad Taste first. Dead Alive, go ahead and blind buy.
Lindsay, what do the people out there think? Are these titles going to release in 2024? Is this news a bunch of malarkey? I don't know if we can do a poll or not, just to say yes or no. We do think these are coming out. I mean, again, it's all just rumor. It has been rumored forever. There has been comments from Peter Jackson about it. I mean, the format of the 4K format is alive and well and thriving. So now, if not now, when?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. He might need some time to work on another 14-hour Beatles documentary.
Or Civil War. What was it that he did? Sorry, I said Civil War. What was that war one that he did?
Oh, that's right. He did a World War II one.
That's what it was. They are still. They are young. They are still.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know the name.
I didn't
All
watch
right,
it, but you're right. I forgot he did that.
He did
too.
do that too.
He's
Yeah,
got his hands full, man.
he does have his hands full.
I need to see Ringo Starr eating potato chips or something. I don't know I never watched that documentary, but why was it so long?
I don't know.
And I think it was only based on like Let It Be or something, like one album.
I saw a few clips of them like
I'm sure
working
it's-
songs out. Like those are the clips that, you know, like people
Yeah.
like pulled out, and it was like one clip was like 3 minutes long of them working out a song. I forget what song it was, but it's one of their hits. And them actually working it out, and you watch the writing process. And I watched that 3-minute clip. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool how that song just came together.
I'm sure
Like
it's
that kind of crap.
together. I see what you did there.
That kind of shit, but I don't know what's the filler. Like, is there some?
That's what I mean.
I don't
Like,
know. The quality was awesome. It was like friggin' incredible.
All of that stuff I am not doubting. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's great too. I'm not gonna take the chance.
Yeah.
I want to know. I need another angle other than just, hey, musical geniuses crafting, you know, a classic album. Like
Gotcha.
that's great, but I don't want to watch 10 hours of that or however long it was.
Yeah. Still no Paul Thomas Anderson announcements though, but we did watch Magnolia. You watched it for the first time.
Yes.
Gave it 5 stars.
Yes.
A 5 out of 5.
Yeah, and I gave you a quote. You want to read the quote?
You did give a nice quote. I liked it.
I did give a nice quote.
Dreams come true. Dreams can come true.
That's what we need to ask the audience. So we watched Magnolia recently with a group of people, and Matt and I, we lit up. We were so excited. Whenever William H. Macy got in his car, we heard the classic 1990s song, Dreams Can Come True. But no one else with us knew this song, but Matt and I,
Gabrielle.
we held hands and started skipping.
Gabrielle.
We had to Google who it was. We were like,
You know that you gotta be strong.
Clearly, you've been listening to
We've listened to it quite a
He
lot.
plays it every morning when we're all getting ready to go places. Every morning since.
This is my morning motivation.
My son's singing it. Everybody loves it.
I don't.
I don't. We watched the music video. Lindsay, the producer's
There's
like,
a
I don't
music
think
video?
yeah, she's like, I don't think I like this song very much. I'm like, what?
It's bad.
What?
It's bad.
Bad.
You say what? Nah, dude. It's funny. Bad.
1992.
It's enjoyable because it's funny.
It's
not
feel good pop R&B.
No, but it's not even good for that, is what I'm saying.
It's feel good.
Like, for instance, you kept confusing it with the
You gotta
Logan,
be bad. You gotta be wiser.
That's a good pop song, objectively. Like, I don't want to listen to it, but that's good. The one we're talking about is trash, dude. That's not good.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
I think it's good.
your dreams aren't coming true.
Dreams can come true. Everyone out there, we're going to add it to the 4K cuts playlist. Everyone out there,
That I will do for you, man.
remember this 1992 hit from Gabrielle. Go listen to it now. It's the new theme song of the channel. But speaking of the format thriving, Russ, I just wanted to let the people know what we got coming up. And then again, what we got coming up tonight, and we'll dive right in to some of the hottest news that you haven't heard yet. Soon we have our State of Physical Media review coming up. It'll probably be tomorrow or Thursday. We have that coming out. A video around the best 4Ks of all time, which we just recorded today.
Imagine how many hours it took us to compile that. We had to watch every 4K in existence and then come to a conclusion. It was rough. It was rough.
We've been working on this for months.
Yeah. And then Fincher comes around and gives us 8K. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Fincher.
Thanks a lot, Chinatown historian.
We're gonna we're gonna have some 4K comparisons, a review of Aliens to wrap up this James Cameron love fest. I don't know if you guys checked out the Abyss review that we did. Tell us if you love the Abyss in the chat.
Fight!
Russ wants to fight anyone that...
Hold on. You know what? I didn't start. I have this idea what I'm going to do. I'm putting together an Ed Harris mixtape.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm going to remix like so many songs just with Ed Harris screaming fight.
Just in the background?
No, I'm going to put it like into the actual song.
Into the actual song.
Like picture this, Matt.
Picture it.
You got to fight for your right to part. And then when Party kicks in, you're going to see him dancing in Creepshow. I'm telling you, dude, I got ideas. I made a whole list.
I've got ideas.
I made a whole list.
I've got Ed Harris ideas.
Every song I could think of that had fight in the title. Like, I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Please do that. Please make it for us all.
Fight the power. Fight the powers that be. I'm just a whole Ed Harris mixtape, man. I'm
all right.
on it.
I like it. You're on it. Well, Russ, let's Was there any news back on that Dead Alive poll?
Was there any news about the mouse in the abyss? How's it hanging?
I didn't run the poll.
No running of the poll.
Well, not on Dead Alive, but I did run the poll about Peter Jackson. You're throwing polls at me too fast.
A lot
I
of
can't
polls.
keep up.
A lot of polls.
But 62% of people that voted said that they do not believe the Peter Jackson movies are dropping anytime this year.
Anytime this year.
Fair.
Debunked.
I mean, we've been hearing this for years. I mean, it's exactly.
It's fired up a little bit more.
It's nice to talk about, but nobody's getting their hopes up.
Is it kind of like the new Abyss?
That's right. Jackson's the new Cameron.
I mean, I'm sure they probably are on a similar level for a lot of people, but like in terms of like prestige, obviously the Cameron ones are a little bit higher, but now that they're out of the way, now we're like, this is where we're at.
Instead of like having a passion for going to the bottom of the ocean, Jackson has a passion for, you know, the Beatles.
The Beatles. See, yeah, it's like a 20-year long, you know, like wondering when is it going to happen or not. Maybe this year, maybe not. 63% say no.
I'm with them. The odds are they're right.
All right, well, let's talk about something that's confirmed. Russ, you ready to talk about Steelbooks, one of your favorite things on Earth?
Mm-hmm.
You ready to talk about a hotly anticipated title that has only been available in a Columbia Classics box set?
Gremlins.
Coming out June 25th from Sony in a Steelbook. You know we're loving them Steelbooks. Loving them Sony Steelbooks too.
Is this Killers of a Flower Moon?
I kind of forgot that this was Sony for like a brief moment. And then when I saw that they were putting it out in steel, I got to tell you, I was pretty ecstatic.
I am too, dude. I am excited about this. About time.
Yeah, it is about time. So they're back. Another classy Steelbook. Like I said, I love it. I already pre-ordered this, but I will say there are a lot of people that are upset that there's no regular edition announced yet, which maybe there will be. Not to say that they won't. Sony has done some Steelbook onlys and hasn't come out with the regulars, but they've done some regulars too. Like I was mad that Steel Magnolias didn't get a steel.
I was furious.
35th anniversary. Give me that steel. They didn't. I had to settle for the regular, which I didn't actually pick up. I don't know.
I wanted a magnet to come with it with like a glass of orange juice.
I was going to say the orange juice glass. Yeah. Classic.
Classic Julia Roberts.
But I don't know. I don't know if people are upset that they couldn't get their regular or if they're happy that...
I'm confused by that. What,
well,
the price?
Price, and some people don't want a Steelbook case, I guess. I think they maybe prefer the regulars.
Yeah, I suppose.
But the price too.
I just thought, I mean, if you... I get it price-wise, but if you want a regular, I mean, technically, this is the regular. This is the only one that's out there. This is the regular. I get it if you have a choice or, like I said, a price difference, but why be upset about this?
I don't know. I honestly just want Sony steels from now on. Like, I want everything they put out to be a Sony steel.
Yeah. Raid Redemption.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Bright Night.
They can't come fast enough. I don't know.
Dragon.
Is there a temperature out there for this? I don't know if anybody is mentioning if they are pissed that it's only a Steelbook, if they're happy about it.
The temperature's rising.
The temperature's rising for Taxi Driver. I do think, you know, again, like we've been waiting for this title for a long time. I knew as soon as they put it in that Columbia Classics box set, it was just bound to happen. It's just a matter of when. It's been teased here and there. But this is finally coming out. And I will say, just taking a look at the features list, there's nothing new that they're including here, which sometimes Sony does, but not this time. But I will say there's already a lot here. If you look at this list, there's damn near tons of documentaries, 40-minute Taxi Driver like Q&A with Scorsese, De Niro, Jodie Foster, everybody, commentaries out the ass, like the making of, all kinds of stuff is on here. It's a ton of stuff. So I don't know how much more maybe they could have even gotten or wanted to get. Maybe a historian could have come and talked.
Has David Fincher ever seen it?
Yeah, if he's seen it, he's usually on here, but no, I guess he hasn't.
He loves Chinatown, man.
You're excited for this, Russ? You pre-ordered this yet?
I didn't pre-order it yet, but I'm definitely picking it up.
I have a confession to make. I've only seen this movie one time.
I saw it at least 40 times in a row before I tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan.
I saw it one time, rental at Blockbuster.
And why didn't Jodie Foster get back to me? That should have impressed her.
And then I bought the DVD, but never watched it.
You are a diehard fan.
Here it is. And look at this. It's kind of interesting. It's like
DVD.
it's like a half of a slide slipcase, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like a half of one.
That's when I had that DVD.
It's kind of nice. I like that. It's like a nice little classy touch. Don't you think?
I have two Blu-ray editions of it. One was like a almost like a digipack edition, and one was a standard slip, but I upgraded. I kept both because one had it was some anniversary. I actually went in the theater and saw it when it was re-released, and there was a whole new kind of interview with Scorsese and stuff that was on that new Blu-ray. And then I'm gonna buy this as well, and I had it on VHS. I'm a sick fuck.
You're sick.
Identify with this movie, and I'm gonna stay with it until physical media, until the wheels fall off, man.
Until the wheels fall off.
We're gonna rock it till the wheels fall off.
Well, this is only slightly better for me than Exorcist, where I had kept buying it but had never watched it. So I've only watched this once, but I'm going to keep buying it. And I'm excited for the 4K to come out because I think we've seen some transfers already from the Columbia Classics box set, and I don't think this is, getting anything new transfer or anything.
I doubt it.
No, but I mean, again, just for the simple fact that this is a title I've been waiting for it to come out.
That's a good one, though, man. How old were you when you saw it first time? You said you were younger?
I was maybe like 16, 17.
Yeah, I'm sure this will hit way different today. You'll appreciate it a lot more, I'm sure.
I've seen Joker twice.
Honestly, Joker, I mean, I get the joke, but Joker pulls more from King of Comedy than it does Taxi Driver.
I wasn't making a joke.
I mean, it's there. It's pulling from all Scorsese shit.
All Scorsese.
But honestly, well, the Scorsese, these types of movies.
Cinematic universe.
Yes.
Are you upset about the price?
I told you I didn't pre-order it yet. What is the price?
Right now?
Was it $49 or something?
$45.99 right now. But I will say
that'll drop.
It's going to drop big time. I want to say, because a lot of people were immediately like clutching their pearls. But then you can go to Walmart. You can also go to Orbit, and I think right now there it's like in the 30-ish range before shipping. So Amazon's free shipping. They don't have the free shipping, so there's a little bit of that. But I've had so many of these Sony Steelbooks on pre-order that drop at least down to I think the Raid started here and it got down to like $28.99 is what I ended up paying for.
I've seen them drop cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I've seen them drop to even $24.99 depending on how early you get in on that pre-order.
Yeah. So this price will definitely come down, but again, a title that I'm super excited to see finally coming out in 4K.
I am. I'm excited for you to visit this one as an adult. It's a fucking masterpiece, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Hands down. Are we going to review this?
Sure.
Okay.
Save all thoughts.
I'll save all my bullshit for the review.
Save your bullshit.
For now, we'll just say, have you ever seen what a 44 Magnum does to a woman's pussy?
I have not seen that.
All right.
So I'm living a good life then. I'm living a normal life then, I guess. If that's clear.
That was just a quote from Jetson's, the movie.
You got to pay $7.99 to hear that quote. What's going on out there with the people? Is anyone excited for Taxi Driver? Lindsay, the producer, do we have a
they're
feel?
amped.
The people are amped. What are some people saying about Taxi Driver?
There's just a lot of excitement around it, a lot of speculation that the 4K Steelbook is going to fly, that it's De Niro's most iconic movie. And that they've heard the transfer is gorgeous. So We think it's going to sell out.
And honestly, I feel like every title I'm looking at that way now, and I shouldn't be, but it's like I hate that in this hobby now.
Yeah.
This is it a hobby anymore? I don't even. It's an obsession.
Yeah,
I've got to like make sure I get it in,
Compulsion.
because am I going to get it or not get it, or is it going to be delayed if I pick it up like a week from now?
But that's the adrenaline. That's the rush. That's the fun of collecting. That's what we're gambling addicts. It's great. No, but I will say I am excited. This is one title, Taxi Driver, where I can't wait to watch, because there's one particular shot I adore that's so minor, and I want to see it in 4K. And it's a part where it's the first time De Niro meets Harvey Keitel, the pimp character. And Keitel is basically, get the fuck out of here. He's telling him, like, get out of here. And he flicks his cigarette at him. And I always loved the way it looked, because when he does it, it like bounces off De Niro and like lands, and De Niro doesn't flinch or anything. But the way, when you flick a cigarette, the way the sparks go off, like bouncing off of him, just something as minor as that. That's how pumped I am about this. I'm thinking about something as stupid as the way a cigarette bounced off something. I want it. Yeah, this is a big title.
Nice. There is one little small thing that I've read that I can't confirm it or not because I haven't seen it, but in a lot of the like forums, people were talking about the Columbia Classics disc that was in there, and that the scene where he's buying that gun, or he's meeting the gun salesman, there's like a shot that repeats, like and it's like an error. It's like the same shot happens again like 10 seconds later, and then I guess the talking is maybe not lined up, obviously, because they just so they use the same shot twice, and there was a lot of worry that is that fixed for this, and it sounds like yes, there has been comment that that's been fixed.
Imagine if you picked up the Columbia set just for Taxi Driver, because that was the only way you could get
People
it.
sold that on eBay.
And
singly.
but then Taxi Driver had that error in it.
Yeah, that sucks. That really does suck. So yeah, glad everyone's pumped. We're pumped too. When we get this, we'll obviously watch it, review it, give our thorough thoughts. My thoughts 20-something years later, 25 years later, 27 years later. I'm old. Later, I'll just say it. Another Steelbook announcement that kind of caught me off guard, Russ, something that I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on. Really interested. And it is something that is actually available for pre-order now, while supplies last, and they arrive in January. 4K Ultra HD, the Film Vault Steelbooks. The film, so your favorite Film Vault collection. You have one over there, don't you?
I do, yes.
Can you just pull one out so that people can see?
No.
And then the one behind me, I've got the Shawshank Redemption 4K Film Vault.
I'm kind of a Film Vault guy, Matt.
And Russ has got the 2001. We were, spoiler alert, this made it into the best 4Ks of all time list. So Russ brought it here, but it's outstanding. So this is sort of the Film Vault collection. It's this really hardy box, which if you haven't seen one of these in person, hopefully you can get a feel for it. I was not expecting it to be that big. I feel like I'm always shocked when some of these things come in, Godfather back there included. But yeah, excellent release. But now
they're dipping their toes into the Steelbook game.
So now what they're doing is, according to their website, they are preparing wave number 3. So there's been 2 waves of 4 titles each, and now they're preparing wave number 3. And while they're doing that, right before it comes out, they're going to go back and re-release all of these titles with the exception of one, 1917, which I don't think sold very well, which is probably why they're not. I think you can still actually buy that one, whereas these are sold out. But they're re-releasing these in a Steelbook version, not this big collector's set with all this stuff, just Steelbooks only. And I'm a little unsure how I feel about it.
I know, me too.
I want to talk it through. So again, all the previous films, except for 1917, arriving in Steelbooks. Now, from what I can tell, you have to pre-order it, and it comes with this poster, which is an limited edition, like 200 count poster edition. And it's like a legit poster. It's not just like I think it's like a nice paper. It's a nice size. I think they're touting it as like a really nice, like also collector's piece, the poster. So it's sort of inflating the price a little bit, I think. And I can't seem to find a place to pre-order it where it's just the Steelbook in this moment. So I don't know if this is like a special collector's combo deal and you're not going to be able to get this otherwise. I don't know yet. But for now, you can only pre-order it with this poster, which brings it to $64.
Wow.
Which is not cheap. Right. That's not cheap. Now,
the 2001 was cheaper than that.
Exactly. Now, like I said, the poster isn't a cheap poster if that means anything to you, but if it doesn't, that's a really steep price to pay for, Steelbooks. I feel like so far the value seems to be with the big box edition. So let me I show you a couple of pictures. So this is like the poster in the front. You're uncomfortable a little?
Hey, yeah.
You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Wait, do you need to sit up and stand up and adjust yourself?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, good. So here's what they look like, opened up a little bit more. And as you can tell, they are a steelbook with that plastic slide down cover that is on the big box. And then inside it shows the inside, it shows the outside. And then, so this is all of them, and I'll do a close-up.
Are they traditional steelbooks? The size?
They are.
I'm picturing.
Here's a close-up of Jaws.
Oh,
I believe it's a traditional size, and it's kind of like, that plastic slide-down case.
Dude, that Jaws one looks sweet.
I know, dude. I mean, I would.
That Jaws one looks sweet.
I don't own Jaws in 4K, and I know it's an incredible release or a credible transfer as well. I missed out on the old Jaws steelbook when it came out. I would have totally considered this, but not for that price. I don't need that poster. I would really like to get this as is, though. That would be, really awesome.
Wait, is the poster the new commissioned art? The art that's on that steelbook?
Yeah.
That's honestly, that's sweet artwork.
What's the thing? If you really are into
if you really like that poster, that's a definite pickup. And don't own Jaws on 4K.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. So that's the boat you're in. You're saying you want to see if this goes live elsewhere where you can get it without the poster.
Yeah.
And have the price drop to a reasonable 40-ish.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anybody out there that has a better understanding of, is this just a package deal with these posters and that's it? Because the posters, when you go on to their website, it says they're limited to 200. So I'm assuming that means either they're going to sell out that wave and then do steelbook only, or there's only going to be 200 of each of these. I don't know.
So we're assuming they're going to do the Shout Factory
perhaps.
Perhaps. Hey, posters when you order directly from us, but once they're out, they're out. Just as a way of enticing them to go direct through Film Vault.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Everything's been pretty direct through them so far, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I don't know.
That's nice though. That's a nice steelbook.
I know.
Jaws.
What's the any feeling out there from the people, Lindsay?
Yeah, there's a lot of chat about this. One person said that they're doing it on Zavvi without the poster, so you're basically paying an extra $25 for the poster.
Yeah, I don't like that. So what's that mean? Then that's $42 then?
But then for you and I in North America, is that Zavvi UK or
Maybe.
Zavvi US? Since it's Film Vault, I'm imagining Zavvi UK.
Yeah.
And if that's the case for I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. There were a couple people saying that they also felt like they should have come out with steelbooks to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, as like another option, I can see they're trying to like dip their toes back in to get a little bit more out of us all, but
that's what it looks like they're correcting. That's what it looks like they're doing, is realizing like, holy shit, we could have made so much more money on titles like Goodfellas. And it's like, let's put out a steelbook option.
Or is it like how Arrow puts out their limited and then they give you the standard a few months later?
Is this Film Vault's equivalent? That's a hell of a standard.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's Film Vault's equivalent of a standard release, a steelbook like that with a clear slipcase. Holy shit, that's incredible.
Yeah, let me look really quick. Jaws 4K.
I hope
Film
that
Vault,
because then it'll
Zavvi.
be available, like you said, on other sites. Maybe not Amazon, but an Orbit or a Diabolic,
Yeah. So this is Zavvi. We can get this. I don't know. I'm not seeing it on here, but maybe I don't want to spend too much time like digging around. But let me see if I can.
Some people are saying it was Zavvi UK.
Zavvi UK.
And on HMV. Is that right?
And HMV.
And the only reason I was trying to specify whether it's UK or not is that, we may save the money on the poster, but we're in North America, dude. That shipping might just equal right back out. Although I guess you'd save the shipping from Film Vault though too.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if somebody beats me to it. I'm gonna just see if I can figure it out really quick.
Matt, you're Googling the new Taylor Swift.
HMV knows what I like.
How is it?
Okay, £29.99. So that's probably like 30. So it's like $36 maybe. Let's see. Okay, so 4K. Oh, it's sold out.
We just said it on this channel and it's sold out in the last.
Sold out.
Yeah.
See.
All right, man. Stop showing me this stuff, Matt. Why did you do that? I was sitting here perfectly fine. I had no knowledge of an awesome 4K of Jaws in existence. You did all of that. Just come on now.
Lee Brown said that Amazon UK had some left without posters.
Come on, Lee Brown. Let's get to it, Russ. Amazon
Stop
UK.
looking up Taylor Swift. It's gonna be sold out in minutes. Oh,
I gotta do a damn capture to get in. What? Accept all the cookies. God damn it! Click here to go to the homepage.
Eat the cookies.
How many cookies do I need to?
All of them. You accept all cookies, Matt. Type faster.
Accept the cookies. Accept it all. What are you saying? We're sorry. It's not. What's not functioning? Oh, this site's broken.
This site's broken. It's Amazon.
It's a broken site.
Unreliable ass Amazon. It's always down.
Let me just type it straight in. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's this. Select your cookie preferences. I'm accepting them.
All right. Can someone out there let me know if it's available? Matt's computer has AIDS.
I can't find it.
Motherfucker has Jaws 2 up over here. Come on.
Amazon is not helpful at all. It's not here. I'm not seeing it. Let me try one more time.
Best live stream ever.
I know, watching two guys search Amazon. Great.
For a sold out Blu-ray.
Okay, hold on. This is the last time I'm looking.
We just need the John Williams score over top of this. And then when you find it, it'll
I don't see it anywhere. I don't see it anywhere. I'm being swindled. Hoodwinked.
Swindled. Bamboozled.
Good old Steelbooks. All right, Russ. Let's move on from this
debacle.
Ballyhoo.
No more. Yeah. What does he say?
No more
shenanigans. No more tomfoolery. No more ballyhoo.
No more ballyhoo. I forgot. Is there anything new on the 4K cuts? I forgot to ask you. Is there anything new you put up there?
I've been updating it periodically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we got together last, any new people following the 4K cuts?
Well, last time I checked, there was a whopping, I want to say 15,000.
I like it.
15,000.
We'll link it in the description of this so people can click on that and kind of just listen as you go about your day. Music from movies that...
Exactly. It is the ultimate background playlist for a movie lover. I throw it on, and even the songs, because like I said, it's both of our collections.
Yeah.
You have stuff that I may not be as familiar with. It's a nice mix of just like scores, pop song soundtracks, completely random and different genres. It is. It's a nice, it's like filling your day out with movie trivia. Like, oh, that's Escape from New York.
Nice.
Oh, that's Crosby, Stills, Nash from the classic movie Annihilation.
The Coupe de Villes.
The Coupe de Villes. None of us had Big Trouble in Little China on 4K.
Not yet.
I'll add it as we go, but we don't own that yet. It's not available.
It's not.
As soon as Big Trouble in Little China is available, you're goddamn right. The Coupe de Villes are going on there.
Big trouble.
You better run.
In Little China.
Run into the distant
Welcome back to the live stream where Russ and I sing the hits.
Take us away. Take us away.
Yes.
Come on, dude.
Feeling a bit peckish.
Big trouble.
You have a great John Carpenter impersonation that you're working on. I really like that.
I dedicated my arm to the guy. I gave him an arm and a leg.
And you met him. How did that go?
That was pretty cool when I met Carpenter. I was intimidated, dude. That was one of those deals where I was legit starstruck.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, he's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's not he wasn't somebody I'm going to sit around and try to shoot the shit. They were kind of, very nice, very cordial.
I'm with you. Okay.
I think he was happy that I asked him to sign something from Escape from New York. He seemed like cool. It's not Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he probably that's all he gets all the time.
I don't know.
Well, you want to talk about Criterion?
Let's do it.
Yeah, who's ready for some Criterion out there? Putting out their July slate, putting out Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, putting out Les Samurai, Farewell My Concubine, Perfect Days, Black God, White Devil, and the film that we're going to talk about, because it's the only one that I've heard of.
The most basic American one of all, Risky Business.
Risky Business in 4K, coming out July 23rd, just in time for the half-off sale. Criterion welcoming Tom Cruise to their catalog.
About time they give the Scientology community some love.
Give them some love. Come on. I'm so happy. This is so awesome. Previously released on Blue, and a movie I know you've pined for. You've been pining.
I'll upgrade this movie till the day I die. I grew up on this, man. I watched this as a child.
I watched it for the first time last year, was it? Yeah.
First time I ever saw the nether regions of a female was this movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I had never seen the nether regions of a
this day.
female until I had seen it last year as well.
Whoa.
I kind of flubbed that, but you get the picture. Dude, I don't know. I mean, I know this is a movie you're obviously a lot more connected to than me, but just in my understanding of its, cachet, I always expected this to come out in 4K, but I never expected it to be Criterion. Could you have pictured that? Was you expecting that? Like, I don't know. It just seemed to me kind of out of the blue that, like, wow, that's awesome that they did it.
Yeah.
I was expecting the studio for sure.
It's one of those where
On Tom Cruise, like, they're not going to cash in on his name, the studio that owns Risky Business.
Yeah. It's one of those where I'm not surprised once it's said, because it definitely would fall in the line. Like if you put Risky Business, Dazed and Confused, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High together, that's not strange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once it was said, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, I suppose, for Criterion. Breakfast Club, there's another one,
Gotcha.
But you're right. I would have envisioned, if I had heard this announcement, it would have been like a Sony Steelbook or something. Or
just like a regular edition with the
Shout
Tom
Select, maybe.
the Tom Cruise sunglasses.
KINO, honestly.
Not even a boutique.
A KINO slip I
Yeah.
could have seen for this is what I would have, like something along like Misery and all that I would have pictured. Yeah. So I'm over the fucking moon about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
And I think this art is pretty cool.
It is. And I'm usually, I don't know what it is. I like these really sharp,
Dude, it's crisp.
HD crisp images that Criterion, they did it with To Die For.
Yes.
The Others, I think, was the first one I really noticed it on. What was that gay film you were enamored with? That was crisp. Quarel, yes. Something was crisp about it. I responded to it. But
Yeah.
that's what I mean. I'm a fan. I like this. It's sharp.
It's very
and it
sharp.
has that neon, like, oh God, they're doing it with the right movies too.
Yeah. The title.
They're not just doing like this sharp, crispy for like Salo or something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's this. It's perfect.
Yeah, that like that the title on there looks awesome. The way they have the names, like Tom Cruise, Rebecca De Mornay, the written and directed by Paul Brickman,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
everything just looks great.
And let's not kid ourselves, especially with Criterion's mission statement, which is essentially to preserve, culturally important aesthetics or whatever. Most people, when they think Risky Business, this is the goddamn thing they think of.
Right.
This is a scene that people know, even if you've never seen the movie. They think
Yes.
of this old time rock and roll scene. So again, hey man,
Yeah. Well
tip
done.
of the hat to you, Criterion.
Well done. And of course, when I saw it announced, I was super pumped. And then I was like, wow, I wonder what this is the first time, they've had their hands on it. So what are they able to put together? Who's involved? Like, I was really curious. So then when you look at the features, they have a 4K restoration supervised by the director, but they're doing the theatrical and the director's cut, which I remember reading what the director's cut ending was. And I'm a little honestly foggy on it. I don't want to spoil it anyway, just in case. But I remember it being like more of a
it's the
darker, downer ending, sort of a little bit more of one.
It is, but honestly, I love the way Brickman or whoever like worked around that initial test screening, because it's not drastically different from the ending that we all know.
Yeah,
it's just a little more punctuated.
Gotcha.
But honestly, the theatrical ending, because it's not punctuated, almost adds a greater level of ambivalence towards it, which benefits it, in my opinion.
I like that.
Because the whole thing with me, I think a big thing I love, well, as I've gotten older, I realized I loved about this, but I'm sure I was responding to it as a kid. I know you're a Tom Cruise guy. I get it.
I'm a Cruise guy.
Yeah. It's her though, dude. It's Rebecca De Mornay. It's her look. It's her vibe. It's her eyes. It's her ambivalence. And like I said, that ending,
I love that they leave you kind of with a question a little.
Exactly. And in real life, you wouldn't know. And honestly, if you're a negative person like I am, you're reading between the lines in that scene like, yo, y'all ain't never going to fucking know each other again.
Yeah.
You're going to have a terrible life. He's going to go on and be a fucking rich asshole, and you're going to be a story he tells his buddies one day.
In your negative worldview.
That's really what's going to happen. He's the future enterpriser. That's what I love about this movie. When it came out, it's that mindset. It's like what the 80s ended up being was the celebration of excess and greed is good and all that. Where Risky Business came out in 83. And if you notice, that's a theme in it. Like even when they sit down, him and his friends, like, hey, what do you want to do? And, everyone goes around, make a lot of money. And he goes, I want to serve my fellow mankind. And they all throw shit at him. You know what I mean? The whole future enterprise. That's the whole plot. It's like, dude, we're going to create a brothel. We're going to turn this into a business. I have nerdy, horny friends. You have prostitute friends. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to say what the fuck. But like I said, I think it's culturally just so interesting in terms of the 80s. Like I said, it was right before it went full synth, what we all associate as the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that tone is just magnificent.
I think when this comes out, we should review it. So I don't want to like go too deep, but the only thing I will say is I was very, I don't know, like surprised by this movie a little bit. It wasn't what I think was like you said about this whole scene where he like slides out and just was old. I mean, I think you said that to me after I watched it or before I watched it. Like, don't think it's that. Don't think it's that, because it's definitely not that at all.
Serious. It takes the subject matter so seriously, and that's why it's so fucking great. It still works, because there is not a moment in that movie, dude. Let me tell you this, and any other ridiculous like teen type comedy, I watch this movie, and I'm not kidding. I'm like, I would have done everything he did.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done every single thing, every decision. I would have looked at Rebecca De Mornay and, yep, I'm good. Everything in this movie. Whereas, think of, say, American Pie, which I like American Pie. Nothing wrong with it, but it's absurd. It's cartoony.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even deal with fucking prostitution and shit. That's actually more in a real world of what teens go through. And somehow that's comical and cartoony and larger than life, where this should be. Yet somehow feels like I'm in the most grounded. That could be me. Yeah. You know, and it's impressive as hell.
The soundtrack would also surprise me too. Like I would never
my favorite of all time.
I would have never
of all time.
I would have never even expected music like that to come on. Like it really gives it a depth.
God, and it sets it off right in the beginning with his dream. You know what I mean? The music starts in the first scene where he's having the dream about the neighbor in the shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, oh God. It's a fucking perfect movie.
It is. We got to come back for a review. We got to come back for a review. Oh, I will say too, I had a crush on Rebecca De Mornay like when I was younger, and like it was really funny to see, because I'd never seen this movie, but it was funny to come back and see her like even probably younger than all the other movies that I had a crush on her when I was in the 90s. Yeah, and she was excellent in it. I mean, she's a great actress. I mean, some of these roles like Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Come on, dude, she's like, whoo.
I don't know if she's. Yeah, all right. Yeah, let me. Yeah,
she's had some great roles. She's had some great roles.
I think when she's cast right, she's electrifying.
Yeah,
and in Hand That Rocks the Cradle, it works. It works.
Yes,
I think in other things, it's
Feds.
a little off. That's another Necessary Roughness moment, man. Come on.
Dude, Necessary Roughness is a little bit higher than Feds.
Okay.
You didn't like Feds?
I don't even remember Feds. Dude.
Come on.
I remember it was her and that nerdy girl,
that nerdy lady from SNL.
Who was in a lot of stuff. Oh, that's right. She was
in SNL.
Was she on like the failed season?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Feds. Any love for Feds out there? Can I get a poll? I'm just kidding. Don't run a poll on that. Don't run a poll on Feds. But look it up out there. Look it up. If you're looking for a fun romp with the Rebecca De Mornay, check out Feds. It's a good classic. Is it 80s or 90s?
It's 80s.
80s, yeah. It's an 80s like police comedy. It's good. It's nice. I liked it. What are the people saying about Risky Business? Any love for Risky Business out there?
Oh yeah, especially for Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca.
They're excited to see her in 4K.
Wow. Okay, let's keep it PG-ish.
I have one question though from the audience. 6 a.m. wants to know. They're 48 and have never seen this movie. Would you recommend this as a blind buy?
Risky Business, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the older I get, it's funny. When I say I grew up on this movie and saw it as a little kid, I should not have been watching this. And it surprisingly held my attention as a kid. Like it's one of those movies, the older I revisit it, I've shown my wife, her and I have watched it in recent years. It doesn't let up. If anything, it ages like wine and gets better.
Whenever there's a movie like this with this much name recognition, especially, Tom Cruise and all this kind of stuff, and I haven't seen it, when I'm going back to watch that for the first time, I'm almost expecting to not be almost expecting to be like, what's all the hype? That wasn't as, that didn't live up to what I had. This one, when I watched it, and I was totally expecting that here too. I was expecting to watch, okay, this is going to be fun. And, it's going to be mainly driven by nostalgia of people that liked it back then. I don't know if it's going to click with me at all.
Cold. There's not really a nostalgia to it.
I loved
it. Oh man, I like that you said that. You're right. This isn't a nostalgic movie. This isn't like a John Hughes, like a high school teen movie where you're like, warm. It's not. That's what I mean about how serious the tone is. You could watch it feels like an adult film. Like, honestly, everything in it, he doesn't even really, well, I guess he does because of the SATs and all that. But like, it's a very, it's and I don't mean cold in a bad way. I just mean like, it isn't interested in that fuzzy sentiment. It's not interested in funny sentimentality. No. At all. No. If anything, it's going against that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to pick this up and rewatch it, especially in this treatment, and check out, like, look at all these new interviews. The director has come back, the casting director. They've got a whole like making of it, looks like, featuring interviews with the director and some cast members, other people. You got the screen test with Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay.
I've seen those.
Have you? I mean, and the former commentary that is from the DVD. I think you said that Tom Cruise is on.
Yeah, it was video commentary.
Is it good?
It would come on, like, it was one of those things you can optional video commentary.
I like
the Brickman,
video commentaries are awesome. Yes, I think that's cool too.
And that blew me away at the time when that DVD came out. I was like, wow, Tom Cruise came back to do a video commentary for Risky Business.
He wants to connect with the fans.
Yeah.
He's a man of the fans.
Say what you want about him, but that he is.
Nothing but good stuff. I'm gonna have to redo the shirt and get Risky Business put on it. It's a really cool poster, or a really cool art. Anybody else picking up anything else out there for July? I don't know if we're talking like Les Samurai, or the like lawnmower that's like going on.
Lawnmower Man from Scream Factory.
Did you see that Lawnmower Man set that's coming out?
No.
It's like 80. It's just Blu-ray. I want to say it might be Umbrella, or is it 80? Somebody, but they're putting 1 and 2 out. Remember I texted you that day about Lawnmower Man?
Yeah.
It's in a really cool looking box set. But anyway, yeah. Farewell, My Concubine.
Box set of
1 and 2.
I didn't realize that would be called a box set. I didn't.
Yes, and 3. Is there a third one?
There's a third.
I don't know.
That's what I'm questioning.
No, it's just one.
Surprise me.
It's just 1 and 2.
Jeff Fahey, gotta eat.
Are you familiar with any of those other ones? Pack Garrett, Billy the Kid, Farewell, My Concubine, Perfect Days, Black God, White Devil?
Just
no, nothing?
not like title. Some of them I'm like, I know the title, but I had nothing to speak on with authority. We are the ultimate authority here.
Anyone out there recommend any of these to us? Because I have not heard of these, unfortunately, but I would like to know more if there's something out there we should be checking out.
And if you want to know if you have anything worth recommending, Matt's a big fan of Feds. I'm a big fan of Jetson's the movie. I think that sums up our tastes pretty well.
Feds could be a KINO LORBER, kind of like right next to a
Jetson's the movie. Exactly. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Or
dude, I think we figured it out. I think Feds is the movie we're even you were probably at that age. You were like, damn, this woman's attractive. I'm feeling funny. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
What's that?
I thought Judy Jetson, it was strange and titillating.
There it is.
There's actually a DVD.
It's been on DVD.
Mary Gross. How did Mary Gross get
Mary
top
Gross
billing?
Feds. Rebecca De Mornay, Mary Gross. Look at this thing. Remember, she was like, okay, so this was the story, right? She was like the nerdy, really smart girl in the academy, but she wasn't good in the physical stuff.
Just by looking at the cover, man.
She wasn't good at the physical stuff at all. She was great at the physical stuff, but couldn't pass the test. So they teamed up so they could get through the whole academy. And there's a few moments where they're doing stuff on the streets. And this is a Feds podcast now.
I remember seeing this like on HBO.
It's fun.
But I remember nothing about it. But it was one of those movies would be on in the background.
And it's clearly one of those movies where all the men, Feds like that are in training as well, totally don't think they're any good or don't think they're going to do it and out, like underestimate them at every turn. And they always come out on top. Feds.
Well, you want to hear
out now on DVD.
Since we're going down this lane,
yeah, take me deep, Russ.
Well, I'll save the embarrassing one for the Risky Business review, but I will say apparently Rebecca De Mornay is not a nice person.
You've told me.
Yeah, that was a story told to me by Winston.
Ernie Hudson told you?
Ernie Hudson told me that.
Russ is a friend of Ernie Hudson's. I don't know if anyone knows that out there. If you're familiar with the Ghostbusters franchise, Winston, the character of Winston. If you're familiar with the movie The Substitute with Tom Berenger.
Yeah. No, but honestly, I met Ernie Hudson at a convention, and I asked him. I talked to him about Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Jokes aside, I'm a huge fan of Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I saw that in the theater, dude. I'm a huge fan of that movie, and he told me how the scene in Hand That Rocks the Cradle where she slaps him and says, "Don't fuck with me, R word."
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't scripted at all. The slap wasn't, none of that. And he said his reaction was real. And he said working with her was basically, he was saying it nicely, but he was saying she was problematic.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told me years later when he was on Oz, the HBO show, he ended up working with her ex-husband, Rebecca De Mornay's ex-husband. And, you know, they met on the set of Hand That Rocks the Cradle and all that. So they're like, "Hey, how have you been?" and all that. And they said even the ex-husband, like, just immediately like, "Yo, can you believe I was with," like, even to Ernie Hudson, he was just like, "Yo, my wife was a cunt." Basically, wow. Like, and Ernie Hudson's telling me this laughing.
Wow.
I don't know. Apparently she's not a good person.
I still love her.
Oh, I don't give one fuck. Dude.
She could
be the nuttiest bitch in the world. I don't give a shit. Even when I was younger. But yeah, this is getting off the rails now.
Off the rails, Russ. Off the rails. But that's a great Ernie Hudson story. I like how you've met
That's
and
right.
talked
I'm going to blame
to
Ernie Hudson for
I like how you've met.
I didn't say that about Rebecca De Mornay. I'm blaming Ghostbusters Afterlife.
That movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, she's friggin' wild. I got to imagine, like, she can't just turn that off and be like totally normal.
And honestly, it's part of what works in risky business. I feel like there's a look to her that it's like you don't know.
There's like a
yes.
She's some
maybe.
danger, she's like sinister, something. Well, I'm excited for that. Let's talk about a little bit of some Paramount news, just like one quick one, and then a runner up. But I saw that Anchorman is finally coming out in 4K, and Paramount's doing their 20th anniversary, first time on 4K Ultra HD label here. It's coming out in June. They don't have I don't think a firm date, but it's coming out in June. I've owned this on DVD and Blu-ray. Here. No news on the special features, just this art, which I think is fine, but it's weird. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that looks like Fantastic Four or something, like that logo for Fantastic Four. I know it's Channel 4, but
it does kind of look like that.
I know, like I was like,
that is what it is though.
I know. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like it just being him on there, but it is what it is. I don't know. Do you remember this? I don't know if you did. So when I bought this on DVD, I've upgraded it to Blu-ray since. But when it first came out with this Wake Up Ron Burgundy
I have
disc.
it on Blu-ray too.
Yeah. Oh, you have this on Blu-ray also? Because this came, I think, as a 2-pack with the DVD, but I don't know that it came as a 2-pack with the Blu-ray. I think, did you have to buy them separately?
No, I'll send you a picture of it later tonight. My Anchorman, it looks like a digipack, and it's like two
Both
cases.
are in there?
Yeah, but it's blue.
I wonder if this is going to be incorporated here. It doesn't say anything about features, so we don't know. But I wonder if they're going to include this in.
They should.
Did you watch this?
I have. Dude, I'm a Public Enemy fan. It's fucking weird that Chuck D's in that shit.
Is he? I remember putting this on for anybody that doesn't know. Basically,
and Maya Rudolph, I remember, is in it.
Yeah. There were so many outtakes, and there was so much footage from Anchorman left on the cutting room floor. Like there was like a 5-hour movie or something before they cut it down. They took all that footage, filmed some like random like 20 minutes or so of like wraparound kind of stuff, and embedded it within, and made a whole new movie with new characters that aren't in Anchorman at all, like Maya Rudolph, I think Amy Poehler maybe. There's like a handful of people.
I just remember Chuck D. And I remember being like, what?
It's
this is weird.
It's like this embedded story that they created to kind of give it some extra meat, but basically...
what I remember, it was a subplot that was cut from the cut of Anchorman we know, but it was so long, like you said, they filmed enough bookend material to make it its own little bonus movie.
It's an hour and a half long.
I know, and let's not kid ourselves, it's not good.
But it's crazy that they did that.
It's interesting to watch. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy they did that.
It's interesting, it exists, and it's an interesting feature to watch. Is like, wow, I love this one movie. Here's a bizarro world version of it in a way.
They put like
There's a Frankenstein cut of everything that didn't make it in as a feature. That's strange.
Right. Yeah, they put effort into it, which I just think is, it's pretty...
I will give those guys credit. They always put effort into their physical media stuff, like Adam McKay. You ever listen to the commentaries on that stuff from back in the day?
No, I don't know that I have.
Dude, they're always... I don't remember specifically what it was for Anchorman, but it's always a joke. There's always some angle and hook.
Yeah.
Step Brothers, the commentary. God, I wish I remember what they were specifically. But there's always something like funny within the commentaries themselves.
Yeah.
Sort of like how Downey did Tropic Thunder in character. It's always something weird with that. I wish I remember what it was for Anchorman though, but I don't.
I don't know. This is peak Will Ferrell, and it seems like a movie that I should buy or would buy. I don't know if I'm going to buy it like right off the bat, but I don't know if there'll be ever anything better later, or a 2-pack with 2, which I know is what you'd prefer. They might milk us on it. I don't know.
That's always, for those watching, that's a long-standing argument between Matt and I, and that is, dude, I don't love Anchorman 2.
It's trash.
I'm just saying, I'm kinder to legacy sequels, especially when they're comedies. And dude, I wasn't going into it expecting anything near the quality of the original, and I laughed a decent amount of times. It served its purpose. It is what it is.
Okay, it is what it is.
I hate it.
It's just I hated it. I don't know.
It doesn't warrant hate. There are funny moments in it. I'm with you though. It's too damn long.
I hate the idea of it. Why
the ending is weird. It gets serious at the end of it.
It doesn't have to exist. I think that's why I just reject it.
I agree, but like I said, I accept its existence. So you got to make. Come on, dude. You got to make lemonade out of lemons. There was a few laughs in it.
I can't. I won't.
Dude, no, I don't care. The one subplot in it where he goes blind, that shit's hilarious.
Let's get it. Can Lindsay, the producer, if we take a moment, can we just, is it possible for you to put a poll up there? Let's get a yes or no on, do you like Anchorman 2? I hope only like 3 people respond, because it's like not even a real, like no one cares, but
okay.
I want to see what people are thinking. And while that's happening,
while we're at it, give me the results of the poll about
the Anchorman
everyone
2
liked
poll is live.
Everyone liked Feds. It was a 100% response rate and 100% approval.
It's
this
leaning
is Matt's
very heavy no.
Bias poll.
What did you say?
It's leaning very heavy no.
On Feds?
No.
On Anchorman 2? That's what I like.
But it just went live, so everyone put your vote in.
Put your vote in. Okay.
Again, keep in mind, keep Matt's bias out of this shit. I am not saying it is a great movie. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's
all right.
It's just okay.
Change the poll to, do you accept its existence? And that's a no. That is a no chance. And we talked about...
Lindsay, can you do a poll? Accept our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ
into your heart. We talked about this last time, but now it's finally got news and art and all that kind of stuff. It's out from Paramount, June 25th, 20th anniversary, same kind of thing. Limited edition, first time on 4K Ultra HD, Team America World Police. No features or whether or not there's an unrated cut. Fans are hopeful. It does say 2-disc set on the side. So I don't know if that means the, theatrical is probably 4K. Maybe they're going to give you that uncut version in Blu-ray. That was like such a revelation for people when Shout just put that out, that they gave them the uncut version. So people are pissed if it's not going to be here. Do you have a preference?
I honestly don't.
Okay.
Do you? I mean, I know what else. The cut is just like the puppet fucking scene.
I have no idea. Is that what it is?
Which is honestly, to me, was always kind of funnier just watching those extended deleted scenes rather than having it in there. I don't know.
My DVD.
I mean, this is somebody I'd have to ask someone else. I enjoy the movie. I've seen it a handful of times, but not enough to where I would notice. Unless there are some drastic differences I'm forgetting. But.
Well, on my DVD, they plaster it on here, uncensored and unrated. They want you to know.
Man, that was the glory days, the early 2000s, of trying to get every like young horny incel to buy their unrated DVD because Carmen Electra's on the cover, and you got to like throw that on there.
Dude, listen to this. Oh my God, I don't know that I've ever read this before. This is a DVD I'm looking at, right? So at the bottom it says, this film is presented in widescreen format. The black bars on the top and bottom of the screen are normal.
You never seen that?
No.
Yeah. I remember that.
Well, is this one that has like full screen on one side and it's got a friggin' clip on it?
I hate those.
What the frig? I hate that. It's so stupid. Like,
it really is.
It's like we can't make a DVD case good enough to close all the way, so we got to make sure we include these like latches that make it really like when you just go to like, let me just open this up. Oh, I can't.
That was the Paramount Presents of its time.
It totally was.
No, it wasn't one of those, was it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, of course it wasn't. It's telling you that. I know why it's telling you that. Because remember, this is probably also around the era where like flat screen TVs came into existence.
Yeah.
And people were probably calling and complaining, hey, I want to watch my goddamn movie, but half the TV I just paid for is just black. I'm serious. Like, people were thinking like that. You remember that back then?
Does anyone out there need that warning?
Dude, you've never met somebody, especially back in those days. I haven't heard this in a long time. But in the early 2000s, you never heard somebody complain about that?
No, I don't
I've
think
heard
so.
people say that, like, I hate this. It's like I can barely see it. The top and the bottom half, like it's like the whole TV. I've heard people say that before.
Wow. But so much of your picture is cut off in the damn full screen.
I didn't say I don't argue with fools, but I've heard it. I've heard it.
The lion doesn't take the opinion of sheep or something like that? Okay,
a wise man once said,
Said,
never
hey.
argue with fools, because from a distance one can't tell who is who.
Oh, Russ, you just drop a
That
bar on
actually-
us all?
I actually just broke a tradition. I always try to quote Nas on here. That's actually a fucking Jay-Z quote.
Well, that abuser. You heard it here
You better
first.
delete that, or the algorithm's going to get rid of us in a heartbeat.
Russ, are you picking
I'm gonna
up?
stop jokes now.
Are you
I got other things going on in my own. No,
Are you picking up Team America?
I am actually,
I'd pick
because
this up.
I've never owned this. I never had the Blu-ray. I had that same DVD you're talking about. You know what's funny too? My stepson, he's almost 12, and he's into South Park
Mhm.
heavy. Not he had his little phase with it, and he never saw this. So maybe that's an excuse.
Okay.
A reason beyond myself.
A reason beyond yourself. Well, that is all the Paramount titles I wanted to share, but I did want to talk about KINO LORBER. Care to switch gears to KINO LORBER?
I'm intrigued, dude. You brought up very 90s centric.
Well, that's the thing. I think we're in the home stretch here. We're going to talk about KINO LORBER and one other title after that. But yeah, dude, this KINO slate, it's like 90s edition. And what I really am interested, and I want to talk about this a little bit more, is that it seems like they've really been putting out a lot of these like 90s thriller action type movies that kind of have made me, I don't know, nostalgic for the 90s. And it's like a lot of these 90s thrillers I never watched because as a kid seeing these trailers and different things, I was like, these look stupid or these or whatever. But I feel like in my age now, these might actually have some meat to them that I might not have realized back then.
I promise you, half the movies back when we were in the 90s, half those ones we were looking at is like, yeah, I'm not going to watch that. I got better stuff to watch. Those are better than 90% of the movies that are getting made today.
Yeah, and that's why I'm interested, to be honest, because I mean, I think then we were kind of like looking to the past, like things that we missed or whatever else,
dude.
and we kind of, some of these blew by.
Recently, I watched De Palma's Snake Eyes for the first time, which is later De Palma, 90s, Nicolas Cage, feels and looks very 90s. I'm a huge De Palma. De Palma is one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. This wouldn't even be in his top 15 to me, but I had a blast with it, much more than I've had watching damn near anything I've seen in recent years.
Well, Russ, are you happy to know that KINO LORBER is putting out Snake Eyes?
I swear to God, I didn't do that intentionally. I did not know that. I swear to fucking God, dude.
Yep, it's coming out, man. It's coming out. So it's out later this year. They don't have a date for it yet, or features,
4K?
or box or anything else. Yep. So it's just a poster and an announcement for now. And I was going to say,
like, how'd you pull that shit
I
up
know,
that
I read your
quick?
mind.
I know. I was like, why did you? What?
I thought this wasn't scripted.
It's like, wow,
Where am I?
our studio's getting advanced.
Black Mirror.
Using AI.
Yeah, so this was announced later this year in 4K, not to be confused with the G.I. Joe film Snake Eyes, of course, or the film Jade that I thought this was with David Caruso when you were talking to me the other day about it.
I mean, at least that.
I thought
Or not Jade. No, you were thinking Kiss of Death. And at least that had Nicolas Cage, and that had Caruso and Nicolas Cage.
That's probably the one.
Which I could see you confused. Jade just has David Caruso
Just has David Caruso.
and Linda Fiorentino.
Linda Fiorentino. Fiorentino. Look at this. This is my DVD copy of 8mm. Look at his face there. It's like the same face.
Do you remember how you got that?
I hope
I gave it to you.
you did. Okay, good. I was like,
I blind
remember when
bought
you
it, dude.
stole 8mm?
No,
I'm like,
no,
I don't
no.
remember, Russ. Don't
And
rat
this
me
should
out on
tell you,
TV.
we're going back 20 some years when Matt and we used to do music and play in a band, but we would always talk about movies and stuff. I blind bought that. And I knew it was Joel Schumacher, but this was still like DVD was still new. And I saw it cheap and I was like, let me give that a spin. And I watched it once. I didn't like it at all. And you liked it. I was like, here, dude, you can have that. I didn't even ask for it. I didn't trade you. Now that I was like, you can have it. I don't even want it.
I did enjoy it. I would like to watch this again. I hope they put this out in 4K.
But that might be one of those situations you're talking about. Maybe if I watched that today,
Dude, it's a 90s thriller.
I would have a blast with it. Yeah.
Dude, and Snake Eyes.
Remember I texted you recently and I was like, Matt, you would adore the first 30 minutes of Snake Eyes.
But not the last hour.
It just kind of falls apart. The setup is so cool and it's doing all the typical De Palma stuff in the first 30 minutes. And it feels like a studio head came in and was like, wrap this up quick and neatly. You know, it's just very easy and quick. And again, in that 90s cheap thriller way, it's fun. But as someone who's a fan of De Palma, it's like, oh man, I don't want to see you fall from grace.
Little lesser.
And I'm seeing some of that stuff still here, but like, yeah.
More De Palma in 4K. They're running through the catalog.
Like, you know what I would put? This is the same way I felt about Existence, Cronenberg's Existence, which is another late 90s. Like these directors that were kind of past their peak, but not terrible, just okay. You know, like, and like I'll tell you this, I enjoyed Snake Eyes enough. I'm gonna pick it up.
You're gonna pick this up.
Oh yeah.
There was a comment.
Plus, De Palma's a 4K king.
On Blu-ray.com in the comment section for this, there was someone that wrote this, and I just laughed. I don't know why, just the way this is worded, and this is all it says. It says, "This couldn't have come in a better time." Like, what does that mean? What time? The time is now for Snake Eyes. This is what the world needs.
I'll tell you one thing though.
What does it need, Russ? What's the world need? No, what are you?
The world always needs Cage.
Yeah, dude. Look at him there.
Nicolas Cage is, and I pun intended, he is a national treasure. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. Fans of our channel, there's a certain co-host that might make an appearance when this comes out because there is a very literal reference to Carlito's Way in this movie.
Is there really?
There's a part, it's part of the plot about a murder. One of the phrases that sets someone off in motion for it to happen is they have to scream, "Here comes the pain."
Oh, nice. So we might have to get him in.
Might have to. I mean, De Palma did it. He resurrected his famous phrase for a Nicolas Cage movie. I wonder if Carlito gave consent to use that phrase.
Is this peak Cage?
What do you mean by peak Cage? Are we? See, here's the thing about Nicolas Cage. Are we joking or are we being serious? There's two levels of Cage. If we're going to do the serious discussion, no, this isn't peak Cage.
Okay.
If we're going to do the absurd discussion in terms of his popularity and absurdity, yes, I would say late 90s. As far as him being like in control of being able to choose his projects and being like the dude, I would say that in late 90s. It's post the Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas.
Okay.
So he kind of had...
And he's working with De Palma, so it's like...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He had full carte blanche to work with, to choose. He was in control then. He didn't kind of have what people saw as a fall from grace, which was really him being the most meta person in the world. Nobody caught on to it yet. But late 90s, I think he was still traditional.
What is it
to a degree?
I'm curious to know what the people think about Snake Eyes. Is there anyone commenting about Snake Eyes out there? Any thoughts on Snake Eyes?
It's De Palma, and it's written by the same guy who wrote Mission Impossible. So if you enjoyed Mission Impossible, that's what I thought, because I've never seen Mission Impossible. I thought this reminded me of what I think Mission Impossible will be when I watch it.
Gotcha. Lindsay, the producer, any Snake Eyes love? Not really, not sure.
Just a little bit of love. Some people are saying like it's one of those movies that you see, but you can't really remember it.
It is.
One person agreed with Russ and said that the first half hour had them hooked and was amazing, but ultimately it failed to like really, excite them. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag here, but nothing like glowing, I would say.
Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
John Hurd. Carla Gugino. What?
Yeah, your boy, Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn, the freaking...
he gets to shine in this one too, Matt. You better buy this just to support Dunn.
He's probably, if we were to do a video like that, which I think is kind of a funny concept, top 5 character actors, he's definitely in the top 5. As far as like amount of movies in terms of...
Dunn?
Dude, he's in so many movies, and he's always like the principal, the best friend, the neighbor, and he's completely consistent and solid every time. I'm never upset when he comes
I'm not saying I'm angry at his existence like you are with Anchorman 2. What I'm saying is top 5? I think there are 5 bigger character actors
of his variety, not like we're gonna say like.
Variety.
You mean like he's always like a side
I'm talking
guy.
like a Charles Durning,
Kevin Dunn. I raise you, Kevin Dunn.
Nah, dude, I got Durning. Nah, Durning. Fuck
Durning over Dunn.
Nah, in a 1v1 cage match with Durning and Dunn, I got Durning all day.
Durning and Dunn. That's our new name.
Durning's got the win.
That's our new podcast name. Durning and Dunn.
Durning's got like, well, they both have a decent amount of heft. I think Durning will take him. Durning, he's a veteran too. I don't know Dunn's history.
Well, you put Kevin Dunn in top 10.
Could Kevin Dunn have pulled off Jessica Lange's father in Tootsie?
Yeah.
I disagree with you there, man.
Come
You're
on.
done.
All right. Well, moving on from Snake Eyes, another 90s thriller, which I only know by name and I've never seen. And it's coming out June 18th, 4K Ultra HD, probably one of my new favorite cover arts. And that's Blown Away. Well, I mean, dude, when I saw this announced, I was like, I kind of remember that movie. And then it just kind of started washing over me, this cover, their faces, Jeff Bridges screaming and Tommy Lee Jones looking just like so clenched and angry. Oh my God, this looks great.
I mean, the original cover was like that, wasn't it? But it just had like a white.
I don't remember.
I vaguely remember. Honest, it was something similar to that. I remember it was always Jeff Bridges like flipping out.
Blown Away, not to be confused either with. Do you remember this? The Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, Nicole, like what was her name? Eggert.
Charles in Charge.
It was like, yeah, like the girl from that.
Yeah.
They were in like a movie together called Blown Away. I think it was made for TV. I think it was supposed to be like sultry. I don't know that it worked.
I didn't really sign on to the Corey Haim wave.
No,
I did watch more Feldman movies, but Feldman was in more legit stuff. I don't know, dude. I wasn't.
You weren't blown away.
I wasn't enamored by him.
You weren't blown away. Did you?
I wasn't Charlie Sheen.
You've steamrolled over my good blown away joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Back to the real Blown Away with Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones. This KINO put this out, I guess, on Blu-ray back in 2015, and now they're back. And if you look here, these are the features: 4K restorations, camera negatives. They actually have features for this one. This one, I guess, is more of a big deal. They haven't told it. They're really working on Snake Eyes.
Tommy Lee Jones came back.
There's some film historians on here. There's some making ofs. I guess it's
Fincher.
No, Fincher's not
Did
here.
David Fincher come back to talk about
No.
Blown Away?
It's like some, I don't know, it was like a Bomb Squad sort of movie. I mean, like I said, I only remember it by name. I read that it's a cool movie, but I also read that it's one of the worst Irish accents of all time from Tommy Lee Jones.
Ooh, that's a must watch.
Yeah, that's what I read. It's
Bad accents are always
one
great.
of the worst. And it was like, once you like can,
Dude, even if he nailed it, just picturing Tommy Lee Jones doing
Yeah.
an Irish accent's hilarious to me.
it was like 10 minutes in, you're kind of like with it, but it's bad.
All right, we gotta watch this shit.
It's
Wait.
bad.
Irish accent? Is this like an IRA thing?
Well, like he comes over. You want me to read
He
the
comes over
synopsis?
from Ireland. He's
Yeah.
part of the IRA. Okay. Nah,
And
I'm
he-
not that interested. I just, that was a moment I
The
put
fans
two and
are.
two together.
There's a lot of fans out there that want to know.
Why is the dude screaming?
Dude, that cover art is great. Let me go back to it. Let me just put it back up on the screen.
Man, you know what's a good movie?
There it is.
There it is.
Love
It
it.
was an underrated Jeff Bridges movie, Crazy Heart. That movie's really good.
I didn't see that one.
That's a really good movie. And I like it. Think about what about that movie what I like.
I liked
I don't like music
no.
movies.
I wouldn't have
mean,
expected you to like that.
It's fictional, but like, well, the alcoholism in it's pretty spot on. But like it's a really good movie.
Hell or High Water I liked him in.
Oh, I dig that movie too. Yeah. You ever seen here's an older one. You would like this a lot, Matt. If you've never seen Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
No.
That's him and Clint Eastwood, dude.
Oh, never seen it.
It's cool, dude.
Did that get a 4K? That sounds familiar.
It's got a Blu-ray. I know it was Twilight Time.
Twilight Time.
I actually have the Twilight Time one of it, I believe. But there was another, it might have been KINO, honestly, to put that out. But nah, you would like that movie, dude. They're like they're like Clint Eastwood, they're bad guys and they hide money in this one spot, but then one of them gets locked up. It's cool, dude. Like it's good.
Okay. Well,
Actually it was Michael Cimino. Deer Hunter.
oh, the director?
Yeah, Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate. Well, Blown Away. Do you want to know what Blown Away is about? It's about an Irish bomber who escapes from prison and targets a member of the Boston bomb squad. And I'm looking at like a little bit of a trailer that's playing here, and
This movie's the bomb.
it's a lot of explosions. Apparently, like I said in the comment section, it said that the ending, like one of the big explosions at the end, is like it will blow you away with your
The end credits, bomb track
with your-
starts playing.
with like your if you have like a system or something. Apparently, it's very bombastic.
Original score by Public Enemy producers Bomb Squad.
What's the chat feeling like? Are we more in line with Blown Away than Snake Eyes? Is anyone feeling this 90s trend? Anyone?
No, they're digging it.
What are we digging with?
People are liking Blown Away. Someone said it's class.
Class.
Someone said it's a great schlocky bomb maker villain.
How's
know
the
who's the
Irish
villain.
accent?
Actually, Stevie Dan 1969 said Jeff Bridges has a worse accent.
What's his? A Boston one. Oh man, it's a battle of the worst accents.
I wish we could watch a clip right now.
I know. I don't know if there's a way.
I
We
would
need
love,
to
you know
find
what
a
they should
way.
have done? They should have got a commentary with like Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon, and Ben Affleck just to laugh at all the accents.
All the Boston folk.
Yeah, people are loving the 90s stuff.
People are living the 90s. What was that other 90s movie we were talking about? Breakdown with Kurt Russell.
You need to watch that movie. You bring this movie up to me like randomly once every 2 weeks.
Well, it's in the
Sit
same
down.
vein, isn't it?
It is, and it's awesome. Watch it.
Yeah.
You would like just.
It's coming out in 4K.
I feel like for years now, even before this channel, randomly you'll just be like, 90s movie Breakdown, Kurt Russell, right? And I'm like, yeah, I saw it, motherfucker. It's good.
Should I watch it?
I
20 years later, Blu-ray channel. It's finally coming out.
Shit, I think Kevin Dunn's in it.
Kevin Dunn, top 5 character actor.
Actually,
of all time.
no, the one dude is. One dude's definitely in Kevin
Who?
Dunn's hair. Oh God, what's his name? He's in Breakdown. He's in everything. What's his name? That's gonna drive me insane. Emmett Walsh.
Yeah.
No, not am I?
Joe Walsh. Emmett Walsh.
Don Henley. Look up Breakdown. Come on, you're dying to talk about it.
Breakdown.
Look up the cast of Breakdown. You know, this guy, he'll give Kevin Dunn a run for his money as well, man.
JT Walsh.
JT Walsh. I'm thinking the old Emma. Yeah. No, JT Walsh. You know who he is, right?
A man searches for his missing wife after his car breaks down in the middle of the desert.
Damn
And it's a thriller, and he's like the villain and has probably kidnapped the wife. Is that what it is?
There's twists and turns, man. I'm not
Okay,
gonna tell
okay.
you everything. It does. It goes in different directions.
All right, I like
Yo,
it.
pull up JT Walsh, though.
All right, yeah. What do you
You're
want?
going to look at him and you're like, you're damn right, Russ.
I remember.
It's going to be a Heisenberg moment. You're goddamn right.
I know who he
He's
is.
better than Kevin Dunn.
I remember him from A Few Good Men.
That's right. He probably was the biggest actor in that movie.
He was like one of the. He's the guy that like kills himself in it because he like can't live with himself.
He couldn't
For
handle the truth.
oh, he's in Red Rock West.
Yeah.
That sounds like a '90s thriller he belongs in.
Oh, yeah.
Him and James Spader. They
Lara
both
Flynn
belong there.
Boyle, she's in Red Rock West. She's another one that would pop up in a lot of 90s. 90s. Like when I think Lara Flynn Boyle, that's 90s.
That's 90s. All right. Well, Blown Away, 90s. We got one more coming at you, Russ. You ready for this? One more 90s action thriller coming out June 18th, 4K, Ultra HD, and Blue for the first time ever. Previously released in DVD back in 1997. Turbulence with Ray Liotta and Lauren Holly. Are you ready for this, Russ? Russ
I've
is
never seen it.
Russ is ecstatic.
Who's seen this? Nah, I mean,
Russ is ecstatic for Turbulence.
I totally watch it.
I don't know that I know anything about this, but I do know that it stars Ray Liotta, Lauren Holly, Rachel Ticotin, and Hector Elizondo. He's back.
Dude, he's a 4K king.
This is the year
Put
of
a
Hector.
crown on Hector's bald head.
Come on, Hector. Is Hector still alive?
I hope so.
Can I get a?
Well, well, you know, here's an embarrassing fact about me. You know, I love Monk, right?
Yeah.
Monk's psychiatrist throughout the first, let's say, 5-6 seasons. That actor passed away. Guess who came in as Monk's psychiatrist in the last 2 seasons?
Who?
Hector Elizondo.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, he is still alive.
Fantastic.
He's still alive. He's 87.
He's 87. He was born
Hell yeah.
1936. He's still there. He's still with us, baby.
Hector's still kicking.
And he's in Turbulence.
Look at me, Hector.
He's in Turbulence.
He plays plane.
And it gets some, it gets some decent stuff. You got the original camera negative here. You've got a new audio commentary with the director. You know, they got the director back to talk about it, and they're giving you a new transfer if you're someone who likes Turbulence. Now, again, it's never been on Blu-ray before, only DVD. Back in '97, this is a like, what would you say, a watershed moment. This is a monumental KINO LORBER moment.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you, our viewership does tend to skew young. If you weren't around in '97, this was probably the movie everyone taught. This was the disaster love story movie that swept the world in 1997, 98.
Dude, after Dumb and Dumber came out, I like had a crush on Lauren Holly, and I was like, oh, I literally watched Down Periscope with Kelsey Grammer because she was in it. Dude, and I was like, and then it was so horrible that I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
I have.
This has gone on long enough.
Can I tell you a story?
No more Lauren Holly.
Can I tell you a story?
Yes.
I've told this story to almost every one, my wife and other women. Okay, you are the only one though,
okay,
who I think will feel this pain.
All right.
Okay. I'm in 8th grade.
Okay.
I'm with my 8th grade girlfriend. We go to the movies. This was my first French kiss. It happened. We were at the movies, right? Oh,
yeah.
Guess what movie we were seeing? Fucking Down Periscope.
Down Periscope?
But this is where it hurts. Guess what movie I wanted to go see, and my girlfriend was like, "No, I don't want to." From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wow.
So imagine what my first French kiss could have been during From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
But because of this 14-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl, I had to go see Down Periscope.
Wow. That's awful.
It is. Like, I always tell that story and everyone's like, yeah, who cares? Like, it was From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that in the theater.
You know how much I was in love with Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs at this time? And like that could have lined up.
But you chose kisses. You chose a woman. You chose Down Periscope instead.
Yeah, I know, man.
Your heart was aflutter.
I know.
Well, she's in this if you want to relive anything in Down Periscope.
My 8th grade girlfriend?
Lauren Holly from your favorite film, Down Periscope.
Enough, she was in the latest Vinegar Syndrome release of The Zombie Army.
Dude, why was there so many also like airplane thrillers in the 90s? It's like Executive Decision.
Oh yeah.
Air Force One. Yeah. Now I'm seeing This Airplane. I feel like there was like a bunch. It was like a genre, wasn't it?
In the 90s? It was like a little moment.
A moment.
It was like a little mid-90s moment,
yeah,
too. All those were like 95, 96, 97. Well, the same thing happened with the like the earthquake. Remember, it was like Volcano, Dante's Peak. It seemed like the big studios in Hollywood at the time, it was like they would race to get out whatever dumb concept they thought was going to hit. And then they would always cancel each other out, which was hilarious. Nobody cares about Volcano or Dante's Peak.
No, they don't. And I don't know, audience, what's your favorite airplane thriller? Let us know. But yeah,
serious.
Dude, I feel like KINO's they just keep sticking their neck out there. They're doing some stuff.
No, it is awesome. And you know what? We're making a little bit of
these are 4Ks. It's not even blue.
I know, and we're having a bit of fun. We're having a laugh. But at the end of the day, like,
I'm jovial.
No, at the end of the day, every now and again, like they hit one where I'm like, whoa, thank you. Like for me, it hits personally. I guarantee you there's people out there who like Turbulence hits them personally, you know?
Neon City, Making Mr. Right with John Malkovich. I still haven't picked that up. I got to get it. I'm waiting. That didn't go on sale for $8.99.
I didn't see it listed. I didn't search for it though.
The last one from KINO in this slate is not a thriller, but it's still 90s nonetheless, and it's coming out later this year, only on Blu-ray. There's no details or box art or anything, but it is Repossessed with Leslie Nielsen. Repossessed with Leslie. It came out previously on DVD in 2000. No Blu-ray, no nothing before. Oh, actually, there was a Blu-ray from Turbine in Germany. And actually, I want to look at that poster too. Is that like real art from the original run of that movie that they did, like a Naked Gun spin? Or is this for the DVD? Or for the Blu-ray?
Not that I ever recall. And even though I was 8, 9 years old, I was in love with the Naked Gun. Like I saw the original in the theater when I was 5. I was in love. I would have known if it was. Unless it's not America, unless this is in a foreign country. Like maybe if this is European artwork or something.
This was a German release.
Possible.
It's Turbine that put
maybe
it out.
It was over there.
Yeah.
And Here, though, no, that was never used.
I have a hard time remembering this one from all the other like Leslie Nielsen parodies that came out after Naked Gun. Is this one that you...
I avoid all of them.
It's crazy that Linda Blair is actually in it.
No, it's not. You got going on.
I don't know. She wanted to come back and revisit this.
1990 Linda, what did
I don't know. Ned Beatty?
The world on
What's
fire?
that? Ned Beatty came back?
Well, I'll give him a pass.
You'll give Ned a pass.
Because The Naked Gun was a big hit, a surprise hit. The Naked Gun was based on a failed TV show, and The Naked Gun employed a lot of... It was the same thing it did with Leslie Nielsen.
Was this right after
Airplane.
Naked Gun?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Naked Gun was 88. This is like 90.
Like the next parody movie he did was this, you think?
Unless 2.5 came out around the same time. But what I'm saying is The Naked Gun was a commercial and critical success, which also brought back George Kennedy, a lot of serious older actors. And what I'm saying is Ned Beatty is a serious older actor. I could see him being like, well, I don't get this, but The Naked Gun hit, and this is, you know.
Yeah.
I can understand the business decision behind it.
I get you.
But the movie, I'm sure is shit. I'm not even sure I've ever seen it. I'm like you. I've probably seen parts of it here and there.
Yeah, dude, it was the next one. So it was Naked Gun, the movie.
2.5 was probably like 91.
88. This was 90. Naked Gun 2.5 was 91.
I know my shit.
You know your shit, dude. And then, you know, a bunch of other stuff until he came back to Naked Gun 33 and 3rd.
And they're all
94.
terrible. You know, the only ones I watch, if the Zaz team isn't involved, I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones who the only other family... The only other people I've ever seen who can do this style are the Wayans. The Zaz team and the Wayans. I don't trust. And both of them, the Wayans as well, they've got some clunkers.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not celebrating Little Man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not celebrating even the Zaz team after Naked Gun, it gets spotty.
Yeah.
You know, Naked Gun 2, I mean.
What do you think about the Naked Gun remake?
I'm not watching it at all.
I almost said Leslie Nielsen again.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I actually think that's
Anderson.
inspired casting because it's exactly what Airplane did, which is take traditionally serious actors and just let them be serious and let the material be absurd. Let's face it, Liam Neeson is at that age. He's an esteemed actor. Seeing him go serious with absurd surroundings is appealing. I think that's a good casting choice. I don't trust Seth MacFarlane being involved. Yeah. Nothing against Seth MacFarlane. I just don't. Everything I've ever seen him involved with doesn't scream Naked Gun to me at all. You know, and that's
the humor of it is.
And like I said, if it was that easy to remake Naked Gun, we just went through a whole fucking filmography of Leslie Nielsen that proves how hard it is to do these kinds of movies. Dracula Dead and Loving It is Mel Brooks, and that sucks.
Yeah.
That's Mel Brooks. What do you think Seth MacFarlane's going to do?
Nothing probably great.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are hard. They look dumb, but when they're done right, it is very hard to do. I've always tipped my hat to the Zaz team and to the Wayans.
What do you think about the Pamela Anderson casting?
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even get it.
She doesn't play a good
I don't
Jane.
get it. Like, I don't get it. I understand they're trying to pick someone who isn't a traditional actress, who's more of a pop culture thing, like a pop culture footnote, just like Priscilla Presley was. But Pamela Anderson is attached to so many other things in people's minds. Whereas Priscilla Presley was always just like, that was Elvis's wife.
Yeah.
So it was absurd. Just like how they always threw an athlete in their movies, whether it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Airplane. Rest in peace, OJ and the Naked Guns. You know, it was all about, it was inspired left field casting. And I'll admit Liam Neeson is. Pamela Anderson feels, again, it feels Seth MacFarlane. It feels like, it's kind of like that time in the 90s when Barbed Wire came out or something. Like, it just feels stupid. Yeah. You know?
Well, sorry I put you in a bad mood.
I wasn't going to watch it anyway. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. They could dig up Leslie Nielsen and piss on him. It doesn't make a difference.
Oh, Leslie.
I mean, I'll just sit back and watch the original.
Come on now. All right, well.
I'm not saying they should do that, but honestly, doing that will probably be better than whatever Seth MacFarlane will come up with.
Well, that's all we got for KINO.
I went a little hard.
You're going too hard. You're going too hard.
I'm more just hurt because I adore the Naked Gun. Yeah. And I don't want to see
I mean, Leslie Nielsen chose to do it.
Die?
Before we move on to our last title of the night, what's going on in the chat? Lindsay, the producer, anything to share? Anything to discuss?
Not a whole lot.
Not
but
a whole
people,
lot.
are saying that they do also associate Pamela to barbed wire. And Hey, It's Me in HD is applauding you, Russ, for the deep cut that you made with barbed wire.
That's a deep cut.
Deep.
Honestly, you're right. I probably should have said Baywatch or something. I don't know where the hell barbed wire came from.
You know where it came from.
Yeah.
All right.
I even considered buying it.
Yeah, I know there was a steelbook of it. I was like, oh wow, we almost talked about it. I almost threw it in the thing. I was like, I don't know if anybody cares about.
It was
barbed
funny
wire.
growing up. I was never a Pamela Anderson guy at all. I don't care at all. But that movie, I did.
I mean, in the time, it was like you it was like, okay, let's see what this is, and there was like, like.
But even out of all
this episode's getting horny.
This
episode's been horny, and the next release isn't going to be any better for me.
Maybe I achieved,
I'm telling you right now.
Maybe I achieved rimmable status on this episode. I don't know. But no, I will say, out of all those 90s like Playboy it girls, I was never, I don't know, Carmen Electra is the only one I was always like, oh, yeah, like I liked her.
Jenny McCarthy.
I never cared about Jenny McCarthy. Although, like when Carmen Electra replaced her on Singled Out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. You're also a Good Burger guy.
That was the whole reason I watched. I was flipping through channels and I happened to land on the scene with her and I left it. Yeah.
And now you've known
I was 15 and I was, yeah.
Now you buy it. Did she return in the second Good Burger?
Yeah.
She did. She came back.
And I thought it was funny how they did it and what the joke is and all that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She's a nut.
Wow.
No.
Oh, okay.
But they're setting it up like, I don't know, it was funny. I liked what they did with her.
Well, Russ, now that we're down to the last title of the night, a surprise announcement from Shout Factory.
What remake are you going to throw at me?
It's one of them.
Shout, not
Shout. It's one of them surprise deals, kind of like Unlawful Entry. Where they kind of just like say, "Hey, we're putting this out this month. There's like 100 of them. Get it quick."
I know where we're going there.
I think they did that with Doctor Strange. They did like with a few other random ones where it's like
what?
Quick.
That's the one that got away.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, that was like
I should have bit the bullet.
Remember they like gave a second round too?
I know, and that's what hurts even more.
I know they did.
The second time it came around, I did the same thing. I flinched.
Yeah, you did.
I hesitated, Matt, and my worst fears came true.
Noonan.
God damn.
Peter
He's
Noonan.
A fucking legend, man.
Peter Noonan. Well, it's another 90s gem. It's coming out this month, April 30th on Blu-ray. It's US Blu-ray debut. And it's another 90s gem that I fondly remember as a young boy.
Fondly.
Dude, when you texted me this, you're like, do you remember this? This text exchange is great. You were like, do you remember this movie? And I was like, not really, but I remember this scene and this scene.
No, you did. Well, first I set it off, dude.
Yeah.
Here's what I texted you because I saw it was a site exclusive, and I did pick up Unlawful Entry because I legitimately think Unlawful Entry is a good movie aside from masturbation fodder. But no, I texted you on the side, and I said it all. I was like, "Do you remember this movie?" And I was like, I remember watching it and not thinking much about it. I was like, but I specifically remember a scene with Jennifer Tilley.
Yeah, and that's all you said.
That's all I said. And then you text me back. What did you say? Yeah, this was prime Kim Basinger, blah, blah, blah. And there's a scene where Jennifer Tilley's riding Michael Madsen. And I was like, that's exactly the scene I'm talking about. And I remember nothing else about this movie.
That's all I really remember, too.
Nothing else.
Oh, God. Let me see if I can just see the text really quick.
So Matt and I pre-ordered before it went out of print.
Oh, Lord. It's so funny.
Funny. Yes, I didn't say. I just said, and I remember something about Jennifer Tilley. It's exactly what I was referencing.
Where is it?
To be fair, I don't even remember the Kim Basinger stuff you were talking about, but I remember the I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Does anybody...
This live stream really has been just one big fucking testosterone fest.
I didn't realize that that's what was going to happen here tonight.
Misogynist kings.
I really feel terribly.
Lindsay, get back in the booth.
Stay there.
Go make dinner. Talking about man things. We're Googling a scene.
I know, I can't find it. I can't find. I wanted to say exactly what I said, but yeah, basically.
The text exchange.
Yeah, I was just trying to find what I said. Essentially, was that like this is a movie that when it came on all the time in the '90s, and it was not a movie that I was particularly following or even cared to watch because it didn't seem interesting to me, at least at the time. But I knew that it had a few scenes of like nudity, and it's not like, you know, full blown like sex or anything, but there's enough of that, you know, vibe going on. And those are the scenes that I would leave it on for. Therefore, those are the only scenes I remember.
Same.
And that's whatever year this came out. I was like, oh my God. I was like, dude, I was like, oh shit, the Getaway's on. I'd have like the TV guide. Be like, oh man, the Getaway's on this week. I got to remember.
All right, man. I'll up it. I'll up it.
Don't leave me hanging, Russ.
I'll up you. Well, let's add it. I had the scene with Jennifer Tilley taped. So I just remember, I remember that scene, but I don't remember the movie at all.
Yeah, no, I had no tape.
I had that shit taped off.
I remember that part. That part, it was actually, it kind of was like
not even great.
It's not.
There's
It's
nothing
uncomfortable
at all about it. Yeah,
but the
we
Jennifer
were,
Tilley one made me uncomfortable. The one with Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger, you knew they were married. It was very tastefully done. Their little lovemaking thing.
Says a lot about me. But no, it was because at that age, dude, I didn't have a dad. I didn't have access to like porn or Playboy or nothing. So it was what you had, right? And that was what I had. But watching it today, it's like, yo, what was wrong with me?
Yeah.
This is not only the tamest thing I've ever seen, like, it's fucking creepy that
it
you're
is,
getting off on this.
Dude, Michael Madsen's like a criminal, kidnaps Jennifer Tilley and her husband in their house, and then all of a sudden, he's like a day later, he's banging Jennifer Tilley in front of the husband.
I don't even remember the setup.
I don't know. Eventually, they fall in love because the guys, they play that guy up like he's a real nerd, like super doofus. And Michael Madsen's like real cool, real rugged. Yeah, he's got a gun. Wife. Yeah, basically, she is a cook. She is immediately turned on because they're like in the middle of nowhere. They really play it up. She's like, "Oh, I'm just so helpless and alone. I've been waiting for a strong man to show up." You know, like that's how they play it. And oh yeah, and so they're having sex in front of the husband. He's tied up with a gag in his mouth, like screaming to get out. Like that's the scene. In vivid 4K detail. No, this is only coming out in blue. Don't forget James Woods, the perfect movie for him to be in, and I don't remember him at all.
Oh, I guarantee he's a scumbag. He has to be a scumbag.
He's probably incredible in this.
I mean, you know, he'll take it. He'll take the most wholesome thing and make it just scumbag. I'm
gonna take us on one quick twist. Are you ready? Just one quick twist with this movie. So, first of all, does anyone care about The Getaway out there? Is there anyone left that cares about The Getaway? Does anyone know what we're talking about?
If you do, it's a site exclusive, so they're limited to 17 copies.
It's probably already gone if you really wanted to see what we're discussing. Anything out there, Lindsay, the producer, Getaway? They're just laughing at us laughing.
Yeah, a lot of people are laughing at you guys laughing. And hey, it's me in HD said Alec on the cover with a gun is a bad move in 2024.
It is.
Oh, shit.
Good comment. Top comment.
Oh, damn. I know we need to super chat them some money for that joke.
Dude, it's extremely photoshopped, too. They could have just left him standing there and looking. Like, he could have just been looking intense.
And going back to your 90s theme bullshit, there were so many movies that looked like this, especially with Alec Baldwin, but I employ everyone. Oh, my God. Watch Miami Blues. Miami Blues, when I was growing up, the cover looked just like this, like some stupid fucking movie. Watch Miami Blues. That's a great one, though, that has this vibe.
90s Baldwin,
with Baldwin, you know.
Malice.
Yeah, with
I always remember that trailer. Remember that trailer?
Hold on. First off, it took me a second that you were referencing the movie Malice. I thought you were going to make another Baldwin joke, and he said he was doing something with Malice.
The movie Malice. I always remember that trailer.
Dude, I'm a Nicole Kidman guy. I watched it.
Did you? Is it good?
You know, it's funny. I was in the 6th grade, and it was one of those movies like I wanted to like feel smart.
Yeah.
Like 11 years old.
Yeah, I watched Malice.
Yeah, like this was smart, man. There's a lot of twists and turns in the psychological thriller. But it's stupid.
Is it? That scene where he's on the stand and he's like,
I don't even remember.
He's a doctor and they ask him on the stand something and he's like, you asked me if I like to play God? I am God or something. I always remember that trailer, dude. That moment with Alec Baldwin when he's so icy looking, he's like staring like, I am God. Yes. Malice. Well, Russ, here's the twist I want to throw at you for The Getaway. You ready? They're bringing some features here. This isn't just like some repackaging. Again, it's the first time.
Jerk-off historians, 4K kings are going to give
masturbatory historians. This is first time US Blu-ray debut, okay? So they're bringing some features. Now, here's what they're bringing. Here it is. Here's the features list. A fully uncut version of the film. What did they cut? What as children did we miss?
Got us. They got us here. We're buying it. Got us.
What could be missing?
Shout knows their audience.
What did I miss? Masturbation historians want to know.
That's all I needed to know. Uncut version.
And to be
See,
honest,
this is the kind of movie they need to throw that early 2000s.
No.
Director's cut. Whoa.
What year did this come out?
Fits.
What year did this come out? Because I'm going to be honest.
94.
In 94, I'm going to be honest, I don't even think I was performing that act yet. I think I was just like watching it because it's what it was. I don't think I ever did that to this movie.
Well, if it came out in 94, you got to think it would have hit cable probably 95.
All right, so now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Come on, man. I know the timeline. There's a reason why you and I both own Sliver. And it's not because it's a great movie. I mean, come on.
I don't own Sliver.
You do? I saw it on your shelf.
No, I don't own Sliver, but if KINO or someone put that out in blue, oh baby. Maybe is that
I know,
that's a Shout Factory?
I'd upgrade my standard blue.
You have a standard blue? You own it? Oh my god.
It's like $5.99.
Dude, I don't mind that movie aside from all the stuff.
It's like a bad, you know what I thought one time? Imagine if Brian De Palma made that movie.
That could be cool.
Doesn't that seem like
the
it's a lot of his themes?
That setting.
The technology, watching people, videotaping, recording. Yeah, I think he could have knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. Yeah, so I guess you're not picking this up, or you are picking this up?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it.
Did you?
But the fact that it's a site exclusive and you're gonna end up paying like at least $30, it's like I can't justify this. If they would have released this as a standard release around the 20 mark, I'd consider it. I'd be interested in revisiting it, not only for our own personal nostalgia, but just to see, kind of like you said,
what the plot even is.
Well, it's a remake of a classic film.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't even know what this movie's about.
It is. And maybe it does have that funny or that fun 90s kind of swagger. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
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 I don't have time for this baloney.
But that's the news. That's everything. That's all I got. I saw a couple other things, but really this is the main things I wanted to share with you and share with you.
Yeah.
Did you ever see North by Northwest? Is that a movie you care about?
Oh, yes.
There's like a big, nice looking box set getting put out for that.
When you first said that, I thought about, again, today's themes are masturbation and television.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought Northern Exposure when you said that.
No, I've never seen that show.
Neither have I, but I was like,
North by Northwest.
Asking me about that show with the moose.
The Moose.
I had to watch North by Northwest in a college class.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
All right.
It's
coming out in 4K in a nice big old box set.
I mean, that is another beautiful movie to see. I mean, come on, all the set pieces, the whole thing with Mount Rushmore, or even the you've seen it?
No.
Well, you know, like the classic shot of him turning around, running from the airplane.
Yeah.
The whole like finale on Mount Rushmore. Damn, I might pick that up.
All right.
I'd be considering that.
All right. I should have shown you that instead of the Getaway. Well, I should have shown you the Getaway too. I'm glad we looked at the Getaway.
Instead, you're doing your research. Russ is gonna love Snake Eyes. Actually, I did. Yeah, you knew that one.
And
what
the Getaway. Well,
we should have covered Barbed Wire. That was the
maybe next time we'll cover.
I don't even remember. There was some
it's
kind
like
of
Turbine. It's like a nice release.
It was something like Turbine.
Yeah, dude.
I was thinking
it's a nice release. Any final comments from the people at home before we wrap up? Lindsay, anything to share before we close out another live stream?
We have one last question from Mike TTC. He's wondering if you guys have any recent pickups.
Jetson's the movie.
I actually have nothing this week. Actually, it's probably in the mailbox right now. The Departed 4K Steelbook probably showed up today for me.
Same. I don't have it, but I got it.
I'm pretty sure it's there. That's all I got. There's really been nothing too much. I keep looking at my pre-orders like, okay, what's coming? But there really isn't much coming.
Yeah, I took advantage. I got a few titles from the KINO sale, but they were mostly blind buys.
Yeah.
I like doing that with the sales, especially with KINO, because it gets really cheap. Like the one I picked up Kubrick's The Killing in 4K, $17.99. Still has the slip, all that.
KINO sales are good. Their prices go low.
Yeah. And then like a few Blu-rays, but nothing monumental.
I'm ready for July for the Criterion sale. I've got a list. It's gonna be a rough month for me.
I'm excited for Bad Lieutenant a lot.
Oh yeah.
I think you should blind buy that.
Should I?
I think you should.
Should we review Bad Lieutenant? To be determined.
TBD.
What's coming up soon as we close out, Russ? As you know, and hopefully the people will know, either tomorrow or the next day, we'll have our State of Physical Media video going out. We do one of these every year, just kind of covering just everything that's going on. What's the What's the marketplace like? What is the trends? What is the product? Is streaming still the albatross around our necks? Still, but I like that it's sort of like getting shit on a little bit. I like that secretly.
It is. There is definitely a shift.
Yeah.
There's definitely a shift in our cultural norms to kind of shit on streaming. It's almost a badge of honor. I'm getting the impression of kind of like you're independent. Or you're hip.
I like it. No, I like it. So we'll be having that video will be coming out this week. Stay tuned for that. Hope everyone enjoys that. We will have a video coming up talking about the best 4Ks of all time, a companion piece to our worst 4Ks of all time video. We'll have an Aliens review coming up, some 4K comparisons of some titles that we are interested in taking a look at ourselves to decide if we want to pick them up or not.
And last but not least, be on the lookout for our Hector Elizondo retrospective. That'll probably drop next week.
Yeah, it's a full hour-and-a-half documentary. We did a lot of traveling for that one.
No full head of hair, but a full hour documentary.
That is right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. We'll be back in 2 weeks on Wednesday. We'll see everybody